we are now going to move on to a special presentation that we have for our fearless leader, who is here sitting at this dais, perhaps for the final time in this capacity, at least. If she runs for county council, I think she'd be running against me. So I think she knows too much to know whether or not that's a good idea or a bad idea to serve here. I just want to welcome Tom and Ellie, who I believe are here in the audience, and welcome to you, and thank you to you as well. We can't appreciate everything that Marlene has done. And we have two special guests. Emily and Alex, I think, have joined. So a little special surprise here as well. And so an expanding family. So one of the reasons why Marlene is departing is to spend more time with family. And so it was very important for us to make sure that her family had an opportunity to be here. And 35 years of service, 420 months of service, 1,820 weeks of service. I could go on and on and on in expressing that. I won't, but I did just want to start in the appreciation that I express on behalf of all of us in county government to thank her family for allowing her to provide the level of service that she's provided to the council and to the public that we serve. I will say that I often am here relatively early and stay here till relatively late. And Marlene's car is nearly always here before I'm here and here after I leave. And that's time that she has sacrificed away from family. And I'm excited for her, although sad for us, that she will have more time to spend with family. And I know that there's a lot of exciting things that are happening in store, including babysitting responsibilities, not to mention a wedding coming up. So thank you to you for that. I'll just note how important Marlene has been, not just as a driving force behind some of the changes that have been made over the last 5 years here to expand the capacity to uplift members of the community, to do stronger outreach, to be a more accessible county council, to recruit a more diverse, a younger workforce, to create a more team-building atmosphere here at the county council, all of which has really been the vision that Marlene set forth 5 years ago and has worked tirelessly over the last 5 years. But boy, 5 years ago, when Marlene talked about the change that was going to happen, I don't think she imagined going from 9 to 11 council members. I don't think she imagined having 4 new council members coming in last term, having 6 new council members coming in this term. The level of challenge that we went through in being a local government, stepping into roles that we never imagined stepping into during a global pandemic, and the responsibilities that we took on. And Marlene was the steady force behind it all, the quiet but fierce influence behind the changes that needed to be made. And we are so much better as a result of it. And we have focused a lot over the last several weeks and last couple of months about Marlene's 5 years in this role. But really, Marlene has been at the center of some of the most challenging, controversial, and difficult issues before the council, even in her previous roles. Somebody has told me that land use can get a little thorny around here, and Marlene has been at the center of some of the most challenging master plans, some of those very controversial and heated, what were formerly the Fed committee meetings, and many of these very challenging, thorny issues. And she did it with grace and with professionalism, with intellect, with a great level of patience. And Gabe likes to say that patience comes from the root word, which means to struggle. And certainly I know that you have had to go through that, but never did you show it to us or to the public. And I just want to express my deep level of gratitude for everything that you have meant to me. I don't think, aside from Cindy, my chief of staff, I don't think there's anybody who I have leaned on more, who I have relied on more than you in coming in as a new council member and in continuing from the time before I was even sworn in as a council member certainly over these last few months as council president, it has been you who has really been the person that I've relied on and leaned on. So thank you so much, Marlene. And before we read you this proclamation, and I call you up and call up your family who are here, I want to turn it over to colleagues and give an opportunity to speak. And so we can just go down the line. If colleagues want to speak, we'll start with Councilmember Jawanda.
I was looking away so you'd start over there. But I'll still be prepared. Dawn's gonna have the best things because she gets to think the longest. Marlene, and to your family, thank you for your dedication. I always remember our first meeting. I came in, I was a new council member, and she pulled the old Wedges and Corridors master plan off the shelf and blew the dust off of it and set it down, and had great history and background and just knowledge and compassion about this county. As the council president mentioned, you demonstrated unprecedented leadership during an unprecedented time. We didn't know what Zoom was when we all joined the last council, and you navigated, your family is literally on Zoom participating in your retirement celebration. Under your guidance, we transitioned to those virtual meetings seamlessly. We shifted to telework, which is, no one even notices it now, but most of our offices do telework multiple days a week. You ensured the operations to the public and adhered to health and safety protocols, which no one ever else had to do. You helped streamline our operational processes and got us on a path towards professionalizing and kind of redirecting how we do our business. And one of the things I know you're most passionate about, and I really appreciate, you helped diversify this staff, which was, when I arrived, was older. We love our older Americans, but it was, they're closer to retirement, and it was homogeneous. Now we are much more diverse at all levels, and that's in no small part thanks to your focused effort to do that. So I thank you for your time here, for your service to the county, and really happy you're going to get to spend time with your family and friends, and congrats to all of them, and hope you will just still answer our phone calls. So congratulations.
Well, thank you. I understand we only have 1 minute to roast you, Marlene. So, but I also think, there's been a time when someone says you get 35 years, that's considered a sentence. And what you have done...
That's 35 years to life.
Yeah, 35 years to life. Yeah, some people have actually heard that, I guess. The council president mentioned it. But, candidly, since I've been involved, as many people know, I was born in Montgomery County, but to your knowledge of Montgomery County is unbelievable. It really is. And you've always been a great resource for all of us on a day-to-day basis. And I think even though the council president mentioned that all of these issues were so thorny that you were involved with, I don't believe it was your fault. I believe that the thorny issues were the reason that they weren't as thorny at the end. So, Marlene, it goes without saying, we're going to dramatically miss you. You were someone who, as Councilmember Jawando pointed out, we know that you're going to have a phone number, whether you mean to or not, that we're going to call on. Thank you, and the best of luck to you and your family. Thank you.
Thank you. So I've been saving this story, Marlene. You probably don't remember it, but so I was 29 when I became the director of the Recreation Department, the youngest appointee in the history of the Montgomery County. It was a little overwhelming, to say the least. And I'll never forget my second hearing that was chaired by Marlene Praisner. Marlene Praisner, for those of you that didn't have the opportunity to work with her, could be pretty hard on department heads. And she proceeded to undress me at this one particular session. It was deflating, it was challenging. She and I became very close friends after that. But I'll never forget that this was, of course, before iPhones. And later that afternoon, I got a phone call in my office from Marlene. And with very sound, thoughtful, kind advice. And I will never forget that. It really helped me at that particular time build confidence. And you, at that point, took it upon yourself to coach me And I didn't have another similar experience, I'm happy to say, after that. So, Marlene, for that and so many different reasons, I've seen your work from a number of different angles. Your consistency, your dedication, your professionalism, but also your innovation has been truly extraordinary. So I want to thank you and your beautiful family. I know you will not be far, and I want to thank you for your support of me personally and professionally, but most importantly, your support of this community. Thank you.
I will say, this is Natalie, by the way. I will say, I met Marlene when I was on the planning board, and she was leading on the land use area. So, but I really got to know her when I got to the county council. And as you all know, as chair of the Economic Development Committee, Marlene had been the person who staffed the committee. And honestly, it worked out so well because having somebody with her experience guiding a brand new committee, a brand new council member too, it was just perfect. And I would say I'm gonna miss you because I got to feel so comfortable with Marlene that I felt okay walking to her office when I got really mad. Really mad. It only happened a couple of times, not at her. And being able to just let it go out and be like, get it done. And she will go and just get it done. So I'm gonna miss that very much. And that just happened last week, actually. But I appreciate you because that particular issue got resolved nicely, thanks to you with partnerships sitting over there. But anyway, I'm gonna miss you very much, and you have done so much for this county. And I look forward to seeing you have fun with your families through Facebook. Bye.
Thank you. I have not come into your office yelling yet, so do I have another day or two to do that?
Yes, you do 4 hours.
4 hours. I just want to say thank you from the very, very bottom of my heart. When we all came in, the 6 of us came in, there were 6 new people, 2 new offices, 2 new physical offices, and just changing the seating arrangements up here. And it was so overwhelming to just step in on day one. And you had everything under control, and so many questions that I came to you with, and I just got to say that you really take care of this body so beautifully, and with heart and soul and intellect and passion, and I just so appreciate that. And as a process person, from one process person to another process person, we speak the same language, and I just really appreciated that. And I do want to say to your family, I know how difficult it is to work night after night after night, weekend after weekend, 365 days a year. And so I appreciate your family, and I appreciate you. And I'm just sad that I had such a brief period, but I thank you gratefully. Thank you.
Thank you, Marlene, for everything. As Marilyn just said, for those of us who are new, we may have known you in our prior roles, but we've had a short time to work with you, but have been very honored to do that. And as people have said, you have seen this body through very difficult times, and I think very successfully because of your proactive approach, your steadiness, your kindness, and I think that's a testament to your great leadership qualities. And I will say, I'm not sure I went to your office angry or with issues like that, but I did go to your office, and one of the things I appreciated was just being able to, as Natalie said, just walk upstairs and be able to find you and talk through issues and find a resolution. And I think we all really appreciated that. And I will say, last week when I went upstairs to find you, and I realized that it was now Caven's office, I got a little, I was like, wait a minute, this is all happening. And I think that was my first realization that you're leaving us. And you have left a great legacy here for us as a council, and also the amazing staff here that we have as the county council. And your mentoring of that staff and putting in processes and all the things have really set us up for this next chapter we are about to enter. And I thank you for that very, very much. And I hope you enjoy the time with your family.
People think that it is the council members who have the toughest job in this building. It is certainly not us. It is the executive director, who not only have to work with, and in some respect report to, the 11 members of the council, the 11 chiefs of staff to those council members, the dozens of central staff members, and then the other agencies and departments that don't fit nicely in an org chart, but look to the executive director for guidance. It is incredibly challenging, and I appreciate you. And to know that you've been here for 35 years, as I compare that to just the 6 that I've been here, you're very special. And those of us who have served as council president know how closely the executive director and the senior leadership team work with individuals in that office. And your dedication to and commitment toward this body and the people of Montgomery County is deep, and everybody knows it. And so I want to thank you for your 35 years of public service, and also thank your family for sharing her for those 35 years. Congratulations.
Oh, this is bittersweet, because I know that entering into public service and wrangling this body demands so much of your time, attention, and emotional capacity. And so I commend you for doing this job with so much grace and patience, and just helping us navigate this new role with such patience and ease. I cannot thank you enough for all of the opportunities that you have let me come into your office to assist with any number of transitions, adjustments, and anything. You have just risen to the occasion at every moment, and you're leaving big shoes to fill, very high expectations to adapt to so many of us, and just cannot thank you enough for your care and attention to this community and this body and all the staff here as well. And so you will be missed, but as Natalie said, we will find you on social media. And you said you're not changing your number, so we can still reach Mom. And to the family, just thank you for sharing her with us. We appreciate it, and we'll miss her. Thank you.
As one of the 6 not so newbies at this point anymore, I remember one of the first conversations we had, and you were really taking me through a lot of how-tos, and I mean, there was so much to cover, and and then I had, of course, my own questions, and so there was just an enormous body of knowledge that you were just very gently imparting at a reasonable pace, and then also that individualized level of responding to questions and addressing my particular concerns that really moves into kind of the mentorship space. And I remember getting off that call and thinking, oh my gosh, she's got 10 others of those also. And extrapolate that over the many years of service, and it really is incredible to think about the level of support that you have provided in the running of this county. So from that all the way down to me and Councilmember Ludkeep saying, it's a little cold, don't you think? Maybe down really the full gamut. So extremely grateful to you, and I really want to commend you as we move forward as well, because I think that we're in store for a very successful transition, and it is because of the groundwork that you have laid here. So thanks very much, and congratulations.
I get the closest spot. I echo the sentiments of many of my colleagues. This was incredibly challenging, having this many new people enter the fold all at one time. And in particular for me, I recall the whole notion of I have to let go. I'm not at the state anymore, and I'm not in the executive branch of government anymore. And it's different here, and they have different processes and different things. And you were incredibly patient with all of that, because I could cull up in my mind every HR thing that I should have known at the state, but that wasn't necessarily the way we did things here. And you were always available when we needed help getting things settled, not just us being new, but many of us bringing into the fold new people to our council offices who were first-timers here at the council as well, which was great and lively, and boy, do we have quite a crew. But it also requires, herding kittens, as my friend says, which is not just a great skill in an executive director, but also as a mom. And we've spent many times over here chit-chatting between things about our roles as mothers. And I'm so glad your daughters are here via Zoom. If their ears are burning a lot, it's because your mom and I are talking about you, and also talking about my own daughters. I have sons too, but my daughters in particular, the day we were all sworn in, I believe commandeered Marlene for a photo shoot at Strathmore, because there was lots of Instagram-worthy space at Strathmore, and my young teen daughters found a willing participant who indulged their Instagram fantasies that morning. But it's beautiful to know and to have such a steady hand that has guided us, and you can tell how much she cares, not just about her family, but how she treats everyone at council like family. And that makes all of our jobs all the easier. Some of the days are really long. Some of the days are incredibly stressful. But having an anchor to this body right at my side really, really helps. And we're going to miss you tremendously. I know I really will. I don't know if you'll miss all my clutter up here. For those of you who don't know, not only do Councilmember Mink and I have strong opinions about the climate in the room and the temperatures in the building, but we have various children's artwork up here from years past, and we like to share them as with one another and with colleagues. We start passing them down, and I'm going to have to give one to Caven when he comes to welcome his space over here next to me. But I have assured him, too, that it's perfectly all right to tap me and ask me something at any time while he's here, because you always gave me that grace. You gave that grace to all of us, and for that we are grateful, and we wish you all the best in your retirement.
Well, thank you. Now, your last official responsibility, I'm going to call you down to the well, invite your family who are here up, and you're going to have to listen to a council member for your final time in your official role before this body, with apologies. All right, last time listening to a council member, Marlene. Here we go. Here we go. Short-winded as always. The County Council of Montgomery County, Maryland, proclamation to Marlene Michaelson. Whereas Marlene Michaelson has served the Montgomery County Council and Montgomery County with distinction, for more than 35 years, starting in 1988 as senior legislative analyst focused on land use and master plan, and becoming the council's executive director in 2018. And whereas Marlene's institutional knowledge, professionalism, patience, and passion for public service enabled her to lead a council staff of over 100 employees, provide critical public policy recommendations to council members, and capably manage council operations as executive director over the past 5 years. And whereas, as executive director, Marlene guided the Montgomery Council through times of significant change, including the expansion of the council from 9 to 11 members, a global pandemic which necessitated dramatic changes and improvements to the way the council conducts its public business, and onboarding of 10 different new council members and their teams. And whereas Marlene invested in the growth and development of the council's staff, creating the Summer Fellows Program and the Council Fellows Program to attract new employees to public policy positions at the council and within Montgomery County government. And whereas Marlene has served on the Board of Investment Trustees, a variety of interagency boards, and the county's inaugural committee, and served for many years as president of the Board of Directors for Red Wiggler Community Farm. And whereas Montgomery County is known nationally as a high-performing government that delivers outstanding services to its residents, a recognition made possible by a wealth of dedicated and talented Montgomery County employees, including many of whom were hired by and mentored by Marlene. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the County Council of Montgomery County, Maryland, hereby honors and recognizes Marlene Michaelson as she retires from Montgomery County government on May 1st, wishing her continued success in her future work, excitement in her trips, frequently, we're sure, to Colorado and California, and thanks her for more than 35 years of outstanding service to the council, to county government, and to all of the residents of Montgomery County, presented from the entire Montgomery County Council on this 30th day of April in the year 2024. Congratulations, Marlene. We're going to invite you up to say a few words, and then we're going to take some pictures.
Wait.
They can do it twice.
Okay. Well, sit down because you have to listen to me speak for a little bit. So I came to the council from a job in the private sector, thinking that I would work here a couple years and return to the private sector. Little did my then 30-year-old self know that I would be here more than 35 years. So what happened? Well, first, I realized how much fun it is to work in land use planning and envision the future of our many different communities. Each new master plan gave me an opportunity to learn about a new area of the county, to meet its residents, to hear about their concerns, to learn about development plans, and to think about how zoning, land use, and public facilities could shape the future. There were plans to create new urban areas, plans to protect sensitive waterways, plans to create new visions of what suburbia could look like. I was never bored. In addition, I learned that in addition to providing basic services and caring for our most needy residents, one of the most important roles of the county council is to help create community. And we do that in our master plans by providing gathering places, recreational and cultural facilities that take care of our well-being, and also through the parks, which to me are the soul of our neighborhoods. And I stayed at the council because I fell in love with the diversity of our county, both its landscape and its people. I know of no other place where vibrant urban areas are so close to working farms and an agricultural reserve, where our residents share the culture and languages of so many different areas of the world. In Montgomery County, we cherish our diverse population and we cherish our immigrants. Perhaps most important, I learned about the great rewards of a career in public service and getting to work with such an incredibly group of people dedicated to improving the lives of our residents. I've been honored to work for 10 councils and so impressed by the 11 people who are standing behind me now. So few people recognize how hard you work and your drive for making this county an even better place to live for all of our residents. It is a job for which you are often criticized, rarely thanked, and daily face new challenges. I want to thank each of you publicly for your commitment to our residents and untiring efforts to work on their behalf. I'm only sorry I did not have additional time to work with the 6 new council women who bring so much to this body. I also want to thank you for putting your confidence in me to lead this amazing staff. It is the smartest, kindest, most creative, and passionate group of people anyone could have the good fortune to work with. We refer to ourselves as the council family, and we do not take that lightly. I am not the only one to recognize what a wonderful place this is to work, and I'm grateful to those on our staff who've had a long tenure with the council as well as our retired staff, many of whom have played such important roles in shaping this county. Our brilliant new staff continue to bring fresh perspectives and vibrancy to our work. I hope they will find the same joy in working for the council that I have. Approximately 2/3 of our staff started during my tenure as executive director, enabling us to meet our very intentional goal of recruiting staff to reflect the diversity of our county. The council's in great hands with this staff, and I know that Caven West will do a wonderful job in his new role as executive director. My heart is filled with gratitude and affection for each of you, and I wish I could recognize and thank you individually in this public forum, but I fear that someone would start ringing those chimes that tell you that your time is up. However, I must recognize the 2 individuals who have been my partners day in and day out at the council, Craig Howard and Sandra Marin. They have helped me tackle our most difficult problems with good humor and have found creative ways for us to move forward, even when no path appeared to be apparent. These problems have ranged from numerous challenging personnel issues to major construction problems to questions as to why the mics don't appear to be working. In each case, they rolled up their sleeves and were by my side. To Craig and to Sandra, especially, and to our entire wonderful staff, it is fitting that I end my time as executive director and this speech by sharing that no one could ask for better support or better friends as colleagues. I will miss you all very much.